From the newsrooms of the Sydney Morning Herald and The Age, this is 4020. I'm Michael Chammas. It's finals, week 2. Well, the first week of the finals did not disappoint. With the Roosters and Warriors exiting the competition, 6 teams now remain. Today, Christian Nicolussi from the Sydney Morning Herald joins me in studio ahead of 2 massive semi-final clashes. Nico, massive week of rugby league news, but
huge.
It all started on Sunday afternoon with what was the greatest finish I've ever seen. I thought that the Roosters-Tigers semi, remember that one with Braithen Astor kicking the field goal in extra time? That was my number one, but the Broncos-Raiders finish, I think it's just gone past it.
I'm with you. I still remember that night. It was a Saturday night. Sean Kenny-Dowell. I think Liam Fulton threw the intercept pass. But Sunday was nothing short of phenomenal. I was sitting on the back deck. I had it on mute, having a few beers. Just could not believe what was happening. I thought at 26-12, I think it was, I thought Canberra were going to run away with this, trying to work out what was going to happen next week. But then they just gave them the little sniff. Brisbane kept coming. My wife was going for Canberra, I think because I was cheering Brisbane. That's what wives do. What a finish. What a finish.
So what you chose to watch the game on mute? What kind of moron watches the game on mute?
I didn't choose to watch it on mute. I just couldn't work out. I was streaming the game
illegally
through the second TV.
Oh, okay.
But for whatever reason, the volume couldn't work. And I was worried if I turned it off and switched it back on, I'd lose what was actually happening. But it was thoroughly enjoyable. It was a fantastic game.
The Broncos through to a prelim, maybe
through,
a grand final.
I think they can go all the way now.
Just before we keep going, there's going to be something. Keep listening because later in the podcast, we've got a giveaway, a special giveaway for our listeners. So stay tuned for later on in the podcast. I'll give you a bit more details on it. So, Nico, a massive week of news. The big one, Victor Radley, 10-week ban without pay, $30,000 fine that'll pay to charity, and the Roosters have decided to stick with him. You wrote a piece about the fact that they should not part ways with him. What do you make of this decision?
I still think it's way too heavy, Chammy. 10 weeks without pay for what? Again, we're talking about, at the end of the day, talking about a string of text messages that have been printed or published in a police investigation. He's been found guilty of nothing. We don't even know if he's obtained these drugs. We don't even know if he's consumed these drugs. Yet we're throwing the book at him. As the Roosters keep sort of letting us know, the biggest penalty they've ever dished out to a player. For what?
Yeah, well, these are all allegations, really, as we've said. This is the police evidence that was provided, that will be provided in the court case. But I was of the opinion the Roosters were going to move on. They told his manager, Sam Ayub, on Wednesday that he's free to look around at options at other clubs.
But again, based on what, Chammy? Are you going to tell me?
Based on what Nick said.
A couple of quotes.
Based on
that Uncle
Nick's
Nick
comments earlier in the
Sunday
year.
Telegraph in January. He was going to fall on his sword just for the sake of those
Victor
comments.
Radley was going to pay the price for Politis' vendetta against South Sydney. That was what was going to happen. But Trent Robinson, the Sydney Roosters coach, and Mitchell Orbison, the general manager of the Roosters, they fronted the board yesterday and pled their case. Not only their case, but the case of the players. The senior players didn't want the club to go down that path. The coaching staff didn't want to go down that path. They felt it would be unfair to part ways with Radley, given other clubs, when thrown in the situation or a similar situation, haven't taken such a course of action. Well, most other clubs.
I tip my hat to Trent Robinson. I tip my hat to Mitch Orbison, because had they followed through with this threat to move Victor Radley on, it would have been all hell to pay. He's such a popular player in that group. He bleeds red, white and blue. He's one of the very, very few local juniors that they've produced. He loves the club. Had they moved him on, I can understand it. The optics, Uncle Nick wanted to take a stand, letting everyone know, listen, we're not going to cop this. Again, just allegations, but it would have caused so much resentment, maybe just sort of a lot of people would have been upset in that playing group. And good on Trent and good on Mitch Orbison for digging their heels in and pleading Victor's case.
Well, I spoke to Nick last night and I asked him, I said,
How was he?
Yeah, it was a great
saved in your phone,
a little bit jet lagged. He's in favourites.
Uncle Nick and Politis?
No, I'm a full name guy, just
Boss?
Nick Politis. I said to him, do you regret the comments that you made at the start of the year? Because clearly they were a crack at South Sydney.
Of course. And
after
Brisbane.
the Latrell Mitchell. Yeah, it was more Souths. I don't think he cares about Brisbane.
Yep.
It was more about Souths and that photo that surfaced with Latrell Mitchell. I said, do you regret the comments? He said, no, not really. I think if the grounds were there for us to rip up his contract, we would have. But we didn't have that. He wasn't charged with anything, so there were no grounds to terminate his contract. Could we have gone down the path of sacking him for bringing the club into disrepute? Maybe. But we would have left ourselves open to a wrongful dismissal case. We took the most severe course of action available to us. Tell me which other club would have imposed the sanctions that we did.
Well, he's still beating his chest a little bit, isn't he?
He is.
At the end of the day, he's fallen short of what he promised to do back in January.
Do you reckon he's just saying that, or do you reckon that's cover?
I think someone
because Robbo's convinced him not to do it.
I think you contacted him when he hopped off the plane from Canada. Maybe he was a little bit jet lagged.
Maybe.
Listen, I know Uncle Nick. He's been in a tricky position. He had to sort of live and die by these quotes. He hasn't, thankfully. Common sense has prevailed. I still think he's got his message. Everyone's going to walk away winner here, except Victor. Again, heavy-handed punishment without pay. I don't know.
I don't think the RLPA. Well, I'll tell you what.
What is the RLPA stance, by the way?
Well, that's what we need to find out. He's on $650 next year, Victor Radley. So he missed 10 weeks' pay. According to my calculations on the spot, without using the calculator, $120,000.
That's a lot of money.
Plus the $30,000 fine. So he's hit with $150,000 whack and misses almost half the season.
That's a very expensive golf trip, just quietly.
It's a very expensive short ball. Is that what that word that was alleged to have used?
I don't know, Michael. I still think it's a heavy fine. And if I'm the RLPA, I'll be asking questions. It's probably going to lead to nowhere. But going back to the original issue, Nick walks away holding his head high. Trent Robinson, Mitch Orbison, they can be grateful that they've got their way and kept a very popular member of the team in Bondi, where he belongs. But I just think it's a tough punishment.
Well, I think the RLPA won't be happy with this because this sets a dangerous precedent. That is not within the rule. We haven't seen that before. Someone said we're going to suspend you for 10 games and not pay you in that period. Normally we see fines. That happens all the time. So Victor Radley has agreed. He's told the club, I will sign a paper waiving my rights to any legal options or taking any action against the club for doing so. So this is going to be a stuff you to the RLPA. We don't care what you're going to do in this situation because our player has agreed to it.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't want to bring up previous cases, but we sort of touched on Brisbane before. Of course, those comments that Uncle Nick made could have been interpreted by Brisbane that their lack of punishment for Ezra Mam, who of course was charged before Christmas last year, reported with a drug in his system while he was driving and caused a head-on crash. But he got $650 or $850 in the courts.
Yeah,
and you're not going to tell me
that was in the courts. There was another.
He's going to cop nearly $150,000 for a string of text messages.
Yeah, but I think there were $120,000 in fines for.
Okay, well I stand corrected
for Ezra Mam on
still,
top, and a 9-week ban.
We're talking about a bloke that caused a head-on crash, and that's all been played out in the courts. That's nothing I'm saying there. That's not in public record.
Yeah,
talking about a string of text messages. A string of text messages. No proof, no evidence he's taken drugs, no evidence he's even obtained drugs. Let's throw the massive book at him. They've thrown the book of feuds at him.
No, well, it's the book of feuds that caused it. Their vendetta
There's another chapter.
There's another vendetta against the Rabbitohs caused this situation to unfold. Anyway, let's just stress before we finish up on this topic, though, that Radley hasn't been charged. He's not a person of interest to Queensland Police, and he's not part of their investigation. So we move on from that matter. So let's move on to actually talking a bit of football.
Yes.
Saturday night, Raiders, Sharks. It's...
Who?
Hey,
Who?
you're embarrassing yourself again.
Sorry.
Okay. Who do you think wins this one? Because the Raiders are battered and bruised. That was one hell of a game. The Sharks, they go into this. I know they have to travel to Canberra, but take a lot of confidence from that Roosters game. I still think Canberra win. Do you think they got enough?
I think I'm leaning towards Cronulla. I love Canberra. I think they blew it last week. I think the big challenge will be mentally having to lift. I know everyone's talking about Ricky Stewart getting up on stage at the Mal Meninga medal on Monday night, breaking the ice, lifting the spirits. They have to bounce back. I think the extra 14, 15 minutes physically, it's not going to mean a great thing. It just means Ricky's got to manage them a bit better at training. But I just think emotionally they're going to have to lift again. They're going to have the home crowd. But this Cronulla team, I wish Josh could play back the clip about you riding off Cronulla. They can't win it. They can't win it. They're gone first week.
Did I say that?
I covered that game last week.
Yeah, I did say that.
The Roosters were coming for them. Early in that second half, they were all over them. That Marky Mark, I tell you what, getting off topic, he's a specimen.
You're one of those guys who can't say the name as well, so you just get results.
Mark Nawinganatuwaze.
Yeah.
Mark Nawinganatuwaze. Don't put me on the spot.
I knew you couldn't say it
but
because you went with Marky
for them.
Mark.
They kept coming for them, and Cronulla did not fold. They showed some real mettle.
Yeah.
I love the way they stuck to it, and they ended up winning the game. They are coming into this.
They've got a chip on their shoulder,
They've got a chip on their shoulder, and
they think everyone's writing them off. They're loving it.
They're playing some really good footy, and I just think they can get the job done.
Yeah.
And either way, whoever wins, the Raiders or Cronulla, I think both of them are more than capable of getting the job done in Melbourne Friday week.
I'm looking forward. No disrespect to those two teams, but the one I'm looking forward to, Accor Stadium, Sunday afternoon, Bulldogs against the Panthers, with all the connections between the two clubs, the former players, the former coaches, 60, 70,000 fans packing in.
Will you be there?
I'll be there. I tipped the Bulldogs to go on and win the comp. Before the finals, that was my tip. It was left field. I like to be a bit different. So I've backed them, but I think their run comes to an end this week. The injuries, Galvin doesn't look like he's confident. They've had a good season. Kick out.
One knock away.
Penrith, to me, they're climbing to win the comp now. I think they win Penrith, they go on, they beat Brisbane up there, and they go on and win another premiership.
Canterbury dug deep against Melbourne.
Oh, they were gutsy.
Lost Stephen Crichton after 20 minutes. That's a huge blow.
Gutsy.
Had to shuffle things around.
But they weren't clinical, were they?
They weren't, but nor were Melbourne.
No.
Melbourne were way off their game. Canterbury had their chances. They lost no respect. They were tough, but guess what? Tough's not going to win you a comp. I don't want to see the Sunday or Monday morning headlines, Canterbury had a dig, because we all know they're going to have a dig. I just don't know if they can get the job done. Toby Sexton, he came on, made a direct impact, immediate impact in attack.
Yeah.
Lachy Galvin's the one for me. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sold. He's come in. We spoke about him last week. Just hasn't had that full preseason, and you can just see it now catching up with him. All this outside noise, first final series, a 20-year-old. A 20-year-old needs stability in the spine as well, which he hasn't had. So it's forever changing.
Yeah.
It's going to be. He's done a fantastic job. He's going to be a fantastic player. But like Canterbury, I just think the best is ahead.
You've got your ear to the ground at Belmore. Mm-hmm. Give me an answer, one word. Crichton play or doesn't play?
No, doesn't play.
I don't think so.
He had syndesmosis. Unless he's made of rubber, the dude's not playing.
The only thing is, your season's on the line. You're underdogs. If he doesn't play, you probably don't win.
But what if he goes down after 10 minutes,
do you play him on the bench?
You could. And I'll tell you what, the last time they played the match of the year, round 17, 8-6, Casey McLean, who was directly opposite him, more than held his own against Stephen Crichton that day.
Good point.
Casey McLean, he's going to be a real handful.
Great player. Just want to ask you quickly some other news in the NRL this week. Justin Holbrook, Knights coach. The experience was the reason they went with him, given Dean Young and Blake Green hadn't coached at the NRL level before.
Is he a good appointment, Jamie?
Yeah, I think he is a good appointment. Yeah, they wanted opposite to what they had to Adam O'Brien. This is not disrespect or a slap at Adam O'Brien, but Adam O'Brien is a very vocal. He's renowned for being he's got a bit of a temper.
Yep.
To me, Justin Holbrook's got a bit of, he's a bit more placid. So they've gone with a different style to that. Do you think it's the right call?
I think so. And I think the first port of call will have to be what Kalen Ponga wants to do. Are you all in, mate, or you're not? Make up your mind now. Let us know, because there's going to be no hard feelings. We need to know which way we're heading. They're still going to have a good roster. They're a proud town. Everyone wants to see Newcastle do well. I think Justin Holbrook, fresh start. Everyone loves a fresh start.
I got excited yesterday because I got a tip that Kalen Ponga was at Roosters headquarters.
Ooh.
Turns out he was around. He was at the SFS doing some sort of promo. So
SFS, I haven't heard that one.
I was ready. I was excited, Nico.
I'll tell you, here's an interesting one. Justin Holbrook is very good friends with John Strange,
the
Roosters NRLW coach. Of course, the father
of
the Raiders gun, Ethan Strange. And I'm pretty sure Ethan Strange met with the Titans when Justin Holbrook was at the Titans a couple of years ago before signing with the Raiders. I'm just saying, if KP doesn't work out, if Dylan Brown's 27-year doesn't work out, in a couple of years' time, Ethan Strange is from the Central Coast.
You're making like a prediction
an hour down
for
the
5
road. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's strong from you.
Could be a little bit of chemistry.
Hey, listen, I mentioned at the start of the show, we had a giveaway, exciting giveaway for our listeners to stay tuned and listen to our dribble to get through to the end. Well, we're going to give away 1 of 10 double passes to the NRL Grand Final. All we need you to do is send in your favourite Grand Final moment. Now, it's, for me, 2010 Grand Final, really hard to go past. The Dragons winning the premiership, the scenes there. That was, for me, a special, special moment, right?
You got the day off kindergarten the next day.
I did. I actually went and had my first beer after. So that was exciting down at Cogra. But to win one of these double passes, we need you to be a subscriber. And you need to send in an email. Go to subscriber.smh.com.au/NRL. Those entries close at 11:59 p.m. on September 25. So get writing, get us in your favourite NRL Grand Final moment. And the winners will be chosen on September 2029. We'll notify you within a couple of days. And we'll announce that winner on the podcast on October 2 if we haven't been cut. So
Who will the winner be watching, Michael?
I think the winner will be watching a Penrith-Canberra Grand Final.
Wow.
What's your favourite Grand Final moment?
Ooh, I can't go past 2 years ago. Nathan Cleary's final 15 minutes against Brisbane.
That's all.
Broke my heart for
That's
Adam
a great
Reynolds and
one.
the Broncos, but wow, Nathan.
Yeah, well, then as part of this giveaway, the 2 best entries will get an exclusive behind-the-scenes tour of the media area and meet the league's best writers and commentators. So they won't be seeing you on Grand Final day.
No, they won't. Sorry.
But they'll get to see...
You got their hopes up there for a bit.
They do. They'll see Dan Walsh and Adrian Prozhenko doing their thing.
Yes.
So appreciate it. Get in. As a reminder, go to subscriber.smh.com.au/NRL and you can get your hands on one of 10 double passes to the NRL Grand Final. Nico, I'll see you next week.
See you, Chammy.